Hello out there. So it is the 1st of September and I leave to go study abroad in Barcelona in 2 days. Yay! No, I'm actually super excited. And so this video is going to be about why I decided to study abroad, the process, tips and tricks, things you should watch out for, keep notice of, etc. Okay, so for as why I wanted to study abroad, I always knew I wanted to study abroad in college sometime. I didn't know when, I didn't know where, I just knew I wanted to study abroad because I just wanted the experience. And I decided on Barcelona, Spain because honestly on a whim I saw a YouTube video about Spain and I was like, that looks cool, I'll go there. So I decided to do it. Now in the beginning of the process to apply for study abroad, I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of steps that you need to do to actually go through with the study abroad process. And at the beginning of the process, I was like, this is a lot of work. I might not even do this. But I was just like, no, like Jessica, you've really wanted to do this for a while, like just go for it, commit, blah, 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 blah. So the first step of the study abroad process is first you need to find out whether if you want to go through a institution, like an actual college, or a program. So the difference between like a program and an actual institution college is that through a college, that one is more independent. That's more like you're gonna have to do everything on your own. You're gonna have to apply like a normal college, write essays, do the whole recommendation things and all that stuff. And then with a program holds your hand more and guides you through the process more. And when you get there, you're gonna be with other people who are also studying abroad. But if you're going with a college, then you're gonna be surrounded by locals, like people who actually go to that country, live in that country and actually go to that college. Hello out there. So I had to stop filming last time because reasons, and today's the next day. So the reason why I chose a program is just honestly, it's just so much easier than applying to a college because, right, if you already are in college right now, think about all the things you had to do to get into your college. Okay, now you have to do that again, write essays, get recommendations, all that stuff. A program, it's just so neatly packaged, it gives you everything. So if you go through a college, then you're gonna have to get your own housing. But if you go through a program, they provide housing for you, they find roommates for you, they give you orientations, just so you can live the most comfortably and adapt more easily to your host country. They provide excursions for you sometimes, depending on the program that you're in, but they provide excursions on the weekends, take you to different parts of that country for an extra fee. And that's just something you're not gonna get with a college. But the downside of that is you're not gonna get an as genuine experience, you know what I mean? You're not gonna be like with the locals and stuff like that. If you go with a college, you're going to get that more like genuine, actually living like a local type experience because, you're gonna have to be able to like talk to, talk to management, how to get housing, how to do, this, that, and that, and you're just like on your own more. So if it's a country that you're super invested in, like you've done a lot of research for and you've really wanted to go to for a long time and you really want to experience like the true like local life, then I would suggest going through with a college. But if you're like me and you're kind of just like out here for the ride and just for the experience, you're not really expecting a lot out of it, then I would go through a program personally. Also programs, depending on which one you pick, they actually vary in lengths. Some are a full 3-month long semester and some are like for 2 months. So it really depends on what you want out of it and also how many credits you're taking or you want to take and how much you're willing to spend. So I'm gonna talk more about the program aspect of it because obviously I went through a program, but there were some colleges that I considered, but it was just a lot of work for me personally and I'm kind of lazy, so yeah. So I chose the Study Abroad program, Cultural Experiences Abroad, or CEA, and the reason why I chose it was because it had the most classes in which the credits would transfer. So for VCU, if you are wondering if a class will transfer credits, you basically have to submit this form, write out what the class is, send in the itinerary, submit it to VCU. VCU will process it and then give you a reply being like, yes, these credits will transfer, or no, these credits won't transfer. And for me personally, I didn't want to do all of that. I didn't want to do all of that work. So what VCU has is we have this study abroad database where it has all of like the classes that will transfer, and it's based off of what previous students have taken and what have worked for them. So if I was going to this new program and I wanted to see if a class would have their credits transferred to VCU, I fill out the form, I send it, and if it's approved, they add that class to the database. So I chose CA based off of that because it had the most credits that will transfer in the classes that I actually wanted to take. And you also have to do that if you're going to a college. If you're wondering if a college class if their credits will transfer to VCU, you also have to fill out that form too. Now, that's not the only reason why I chose that. Actually, is the only reason. And you also have to do that for colleges too. If you're wondering if a college class will have its credits transferred to VCU, you also have to fill out that form. Now, I know not a lot of people are as lazy as me, and yeah, so I suggest if there is a program that you really like or a college that you really want to go to studying abroad, I recommend going through that work and filling out all those forms and checking every single class. Now, with programs, there's other things that I would consider. So programs, not only do they have the classes, they also offer excursions. Some programs will offer more excursions than others. For me, I was stuck between CA and another program. And the other program, the thing that I liked about the other program was that it offered more excursions to different countries, like outside of the country that I wanted to go to, which was Spain. So it offered excursions to like France, Germany, and all that stuff. And CEA doesn't have that, which that was a real wrench into my whole plans, because CEA has the classes that I want, but this other program has the excursions that I want. So I was just stuck between the two. And I ended up choosing CEA because I was just like, you know what? I need to get some sort of credits out of this. I need to get some sort of progress in my education. So I chose CEA. And from a lot of the people that I've talked to, they always said that, oh, if you're in Europe, it's so easy to travel to other countries because Europe is, all the countries are so small and they're so close together that traveling is not a big deal. So I went with CEA. So like aforementioned, study abroad has a lot of steps that you need to take, especially pre-departure steps. So one of the first things I had to do was get a visa. In Spain, if you're staying for longer than 90 days, then you have to get a visa. And obviously I'm staying there for 3 months, a whole semester. So obviously I had to get one. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. So basically, to get a visa for Spain at least, you had to prove you had enough money to go travel abroad, and your reason for traveling abroad and staying in that country for so long, and health. Are you healthy enough to go? So my program provided me with all the paperwork that I needed to get a visa. They sent me, my acceptance letter into the program that I needed for the visa, and just everything, all the paperwork that I needed, which is also another reason why I liked going through a program, was they provided me with everything. So I went there, I went to the Spanish embassy in DC. It was really easy, got in, had to pay a $160 fee for the visa, had to pay in cash, and then in about 1 month, they sent me my passport back with the visa in it. And not only that, so the program didn't come with plane tickets, so I had to book my own, flight to Spain and back. So that wasn't too bad, except rates for flights vary all the time. So it took me a minute to get a good, deal on a plane ticket. Other things were just packing wise, understanding that you're gonna be gone for a whole semester, 3 months. What are you packing? What do you think you need? Small stuff like that. So I've heard horror stories where people lose their luggage all the time, or their luggage doesn't come to them until weeks later. So a tip I would have for you guys is to pack a carry-on and pack a couple extra outfits in there. Maybe bring in just basic necessities, just in case when you do get to your country and you settle into your new home for the next semester, you at least have some essentials to keep you going for a couple of days or a couple of weeks actually before your main luggage arrives. And I also suggest taking out some cash, converting, getting a money exchange in the US first before traveling over, because it's just always nice to have cash on you. And also check with your bank to see which cards you have or which banks that you have charge fees for overseas transactions, because you obviously don't want to be paying $5 for every transaction you make. So I've heard things like Wells Fargo, I think they don't charge fees for their credit cards, and just little stuff like that.
Hi guys, I'm actually in Barcelona right now, and I forgot to film an outro, so I'm doing it now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!